life goes on and we still remain. Now, I think that a big problem that a lot of people face is time. Time is an ever-present, ever-flowing concept that is always moving. And I think that when you think about time, it tends to bring up this sense of uncertainty. You don't know what the future brings. You only know what's happening right now. You only know what's happened and what's came before you. So I think a lot of people tend to instantiate this feeling of dread that we don't know the full story of our lives. We can't grasp what is going to be happening within the next couple of months, within the next year, within the next 5 years of your life. I don't think that we give that a lot of thought. And in that sense, it tends to break a lot of people. I've noticed that a lot of people will live in the now, and not in the way of being appreciative and being in a place of acceptance of wanting to live life, but more so in a sense of just being checked out, just being like, I don't know where I'm going to be in the next couple of months, so why give it any type of thought? Why care? Time is always moving, right? So what do I have to do to change that, if you will? And I'm guilty of that thought. When I look back at that point in time 4 years ago, I look at it both sorrowful and insightful. I think that when I look back at that time, I'm sorrowful because of the fact that I didn't do anything with my time. I just wasted it. Like, hindsight's always gonna be 20/20, and I'm always gonna look back at that time and just think what a fucking idiot I was because I didn't do anything. I just sat there and wanted somebody else to think for me. I wanted somebody else to make the decisions for me. I wanted somebody else to take me away from that situation because I couldn't do that by myself. And I think that translates a lot to how people feel because it's very easy to get into a sense of helplessness with the flow of time. You didn't do anything before, why do anything now? Nothing's changed. You can only focus on yourself right now. But even when you do that, why give it this thought? Because of the fact that nothing's changing when I do try to change. And so a lot of people tend to lose accountability through the flow of time because why give it any effort to change if I'm not receiving any type of feedback from the world or receiving any type of feedback from people that what I'm doing with my life is instantiating this change that I want. And I think that that's a bad habit to think of. I think that is the trap, actually. It's a trap to fall into this cycle of wanting to do something with your life but not aligning yourself to correctly suit that change, if you know what I mean. And what I mean by that, actually, is that when you tend to have a thought, it really relies on you in order to carry that thought out. You can't just sit with a thought, or a goal rather, and not do anything about it. Like, if you're gonna talk to people about a goal and then you don't do anything about it, number one, that's not a goal. That's just a thought in passing. You're not doing anything to make that goal worthwhile. And number two, people don't look at you like with respect or with any type of like respect for your craft. And what I mean by that is that if I were telling people that I did YouTube, but then I wasn't doing anything, whether that's content creation, whether that's going to be sharing on Instagram, whether that's going to be making YouTube shorts, or anything that isn't related to the field of content creation, I honestly don't think people would take me seriously about my craft because I'm not showing that I care about it. I'm not speaking with my craft. I'm not working towards my craft, and I'm not putting all of this focus and attention into that craft. And all of that relies on time. When looking at the bigger picture about where you're going and where you are right now, you really do need to stop and think about yourself in relation to the flow of time and really take a step back and focus on yourself, because if you're constantly like swimming against the current of time, whether that's going to be projecting your past mistakes onto the future to try and confirm a comfortable future, then you're swimming against the current of time. If you're going to be trying to be in a mode of self-destruction in order to make the future feel familiar, then you're swimming against the current of time. If you're resisting change that the world is trying to give you because it doesn't feel comfortable or it doesn't feel like you're ready for it, then that's going to be resisting the flow of time. I find that trying to swim against the current of time is not a beneficial thing to do, because you're just going to tire yourself out and you're resisting change. The better mentality is to swim with the flow of time. And that's not to say just go with the flow, because that is going to be how you end up just letting yourself be a victim of passing fate, letting yourself just fold to circumstance. What I mean by swimming with the flow of time is learning how to better place your energy into aligning yourself with the things that you want in life. If something isn't giving that's going to benefit you, your development, your growth, your mentality, then it's not something that you should keep investing in. If I am working at a job that isn't nurturing this mentality that I have, then why am I going to stay there? If I'm trying to interact with people and they make decisions that don't align with myself, then why am I friends with them? It's that mentality of swimming with the current of time that makes every single decision just pour onto another. And I am a firm believer that if you swim with the current of time, your life, it gets better. It still feels weird right now, but the more that I do this, the more that I accept this use of my time, the more that I accept this aspect of wanting to instantiate this change for the better, for my growth, for my development, then it has to be good. It's a new experience. Why wouldn't it be good? I wouldn't be here without learning that lesson, or learning the lessons that I've learned in my life through time. I think the biggest thing I've had to learn about time is that you're never going to get it back. You know, when I say that the past is behind me, I really do mean that the past is behind me. There's no point in dwelling on what's been, because of that point, why give it thought? It's not happening in the moment. It's not going to benefit you in the future. So why are you letting in moments in the past affect essentially your future? It's like when toxic relationships happen and you're so caught up on that bitter thought of a previous partner that you carry that thought, that instantiation of dread, of bitterness, of sorrow into the next relationship. It's why a lot of the times people will have rebounds, because they don't want to sit and have that thought. They don't want to sit with themselves and come to terms with the idea that maybe they should slow things down. Maybe it's okay to start over and relearn yourself. Maybe it's okay to just accept what's came and use that knowledge to prevent it from happening, or learn about yourself in a new way that you didn't think about. I think that one of the biggest things that people tend to forget about is that feedback is very important. Feedback is this notion that tells us what we need to work on. And with that feedback and that knowledge, it makes our lives better for the people that are going to come after us. I'm a very big proponent of the idea that working on yourself is essentially paying it forward. You're giving your thoughts, your mind, your expression, and your whole entire soul back to the world, because it is a gift to be in the present. That's why they call it a present. You know, just being in a place of deservance and acceptance of living this life in of itself is the best thing that you can do with your time, because now you're setting it up so that way in the future, the people that you're going to meet are going to enjoy you. The people who are going to stand by your side in the next 5 years, that's going to be all you, because you put time into yourself, because you invested in the idea of bettering yourself. You put yourself forward and you disciplined yourself in order to create this future in the present moment. That in of itself is swimming with the current of time. Like I said, swimming against the current of time is essentially using the past and carrying it with you. That's extra baggage you don't need. It's like carrying somebody with you into the next chapter of your life that wasn't supposed to be there with you. It doesn't make sense, and it's not going to be beneficial for you to keep that same thought process for the next chapter of your life. For my instance right now, I know that walking into this future of mine, all I have with me is myself and the friends I've made along the way. And realistically speaking, that's all I need. I think that I've developed myself, I've disciplined myself, and I've carved out myself to the point to where I can enjoy what I'm doing right now. I want to invest all of this time into YouTube. I want to push the envelope to see how far I can go. You can't read the new stories of your life if you're always looking back at the previous chapters. So turn the page. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate this moment right now, the ability to be able to share myself, to express myself, and to put myself out there. Finally, I think it was always a pipe dream for me to think about doing YouTube, but as I've said, it's one foot over the other. It's a moment in time right now, in the present moment, that I have to create this. I have to move with this. I have to keep this energy with me because no one else is going to keep it for me. And I hope that I can impart my wisdom to you guys. And maybe you will learn something out of this journey. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.